Hey everyone, and welcome back to Timeless. Today we're going to be looking at the Day 2 version of Jetstorm. We've made a couple of tweaks to this deck list. A couple of other people are making their own tweaks. Some people are trying to take the deck in a different direction. But this is more or less the same idea as what we had on Day 1, but with a couple of tweaks to help the deck play a little bit better. So let's go ahead and go over all of the different changes we made to the deck. First is that we're going to include some discard. Some of the worst matchups for this deck are other unfair decks, because other unfair decks can just be a little bit quicker and they can really get under you before you can actually put your combo together. This deck benefits just from being super resilient and able to draw a million cards, but if show and tell is like half a turn faster than you, that's a problem. So we're going to be main decking 2 discard spells, and we're going to be sideboarding 2 discard spells. And the reasons I went with these specific spells is one, for life loss considerations. Often when you're playing in a matchup that you want the discard, you're going to necro all the way down to 1 HP to try to sculpt the perfect hand and then combo. So I would prefer to play Inquisition and Duress over Thoughtseize and have that 2 extra life. Inquisition is the better one to main deck because this is a okay card to cast against decks like Energy. It hits anything in that deck, it'll hit creatures, it'll hit most cards in the format while not costing you life, and then whenever you're sideboarding in discard spells, you're generally playing against a non-creature combo deck, so Duress is going to be fine. It's okay to lose out on 2 life loss just so that you can't hit creatures, in my opinion at least. Another change to the main deck is we're now playing March of Wretched Sorrow, 2 copies of it. Before we had Weather of the Storm, I think we had one in the main, one on the side. We also had a Blood Artist in the main. We had some alternate ways to gain life, but then we decided on March, just the classic Necropotence card. We're only playing 2 copies of it, so oftentimes what you're going to want to do is you might want to tutor for March of Wretched Sorrow, put it into your hand at sorcery speed on your main phase, and then draw 19 cards off of Necro. That's at least the ideal way to do it because you're not always guaranteed to hit it with only 2 cards in your deck. Even with 4 cards in your deck, you're sometimes not guaranteed to hit it, which led to some awkward whiffs in previous Necro decks that I had played. So if you're thinking about Necroing to 1 and you want to gain some life, definitely tutor for this beforehand. Oftentimes we'll sideboard out a copy, but I usually stay at least 1 copy because it happens pretty often that you need to reload. We have 1 meat hook in the main. Before, I think we had 2 in the side. Now we have 1 main, 1 side. This gives you a great removal spell to tutor for when you are up against aggro or energy game 1. Like if turn 2 you go ahead and cast one of your tutors, grab a meat hook, and then on turn 3 you use either a Dark Ritual or perhaps Phyrexian Tower, putting one of your 1-drops under it and making a treasure, you'll be able to meat hook with X equals 2 or 3 really consistently. And that is more than enough to slow down an energy deck enough to have you win a couple of turns later. As for the main deck, I believe it's more or less the same. The flex slots in the deck right now are these cards. These are very strong cards, but everything that's here is kind of locked. Well, Inquisition I would also call a flex slot at this point. So if you wanted to like change the main deck, you would probably have to cut some of these cards. And yeah, I think everything else is a pretty mandatory 4 of like mandatory 4, mandatory 4, mandatory 4, mandatory 4, mandatory 4, mandatory 4. These treasure creatures, you probably want 6 to 8 of them. For a freebooter, definitely, because this is the better one because of the scry. And of course, you want your 1 DT. Sideboard, we already went over Duress. I just said add 1 Surgical because it's fantastic to have just a 1 of Graveyard Hate that you can tutor for. When you're playing so many tutors in a deck, you essentially end up with 6 copies of sideboard card instead of just 1. So just having this 1 copy is going to help you out a lot. We went down to 3 Haywire Mites. We put a Surgical in the Haywire spot just because 4 was a lot. Especially with all the tutors that we have in the deck, you really didn't need all 4. Oftentimes I only found myself sideboarding in 1 or 2 just to save on slots in the deck, so 3 seems like a good number for the sideboard. We have an extra meat hook for aggro decks. We can go ahead and take this discard out. We can put the meat hook in. We have 4 Vexing Baubles, so this is for both show and tell and elementals. This is a fantastic way to slow them down enough for us to go ahead and win the game. And then lastly, we had 4 defense grids before, now we're on 4 defense grids, 1 pact. It's nice to have that variety. When you necro for 19 against the counterspell deck, it's really nice to have access to this 1 pact of negation to protect you on your combo turn for 0 mana. So I really like the idea of splitting the 4 defense grids into 3 defense grids and 1 pact of negation. I think we added a Takemuma as well. We might or might not have gone down a land. I can't remember if I had 18 or 19 in the previous video, but we're on 18 right now. Other than that, that's the deck. Let's get to the gameplay. All right, game one. We were going to be on the play against the Polish ambassador. Rank stages reset the day before yesterday. That's why we are still on the mythic climb, and so is everybody else. All right, we have freebooter into DI, Medallion. Double Medallion is really useless, to be entirely honest. Like, this is essentially a dead card, but I do like the idea that we can just tutor for a Necro on turn 3. It's going to be a bit of a slow win, but this is a nice, consistent hand that I would like to keep. See what our opponent's up to on this fine early day of the season. All right, Arid Mesa, interesting. No companion doesn't usually result in Arid Mesa. Let's go ahead and attack them for 1. I am wondering what they're up to. Also, what we could do is we can jam Jet Medallion this turn, and then next turn we can DI for Necro. And if we get really lucky with drawing combo pieces, we might just be able to go off with the Jet Medallion in play sooner rather than later. Yeah, I like that idea, actually. Let's go ahead and play this Jet. Next turn, we can still get enough mana to Necro. We have a tower, which is kind of awkward, actually, so we might not be able to do that. We might have to draw another creature to get there. Yeah, we will have to draw another creature to get to Necro mana next turn. This is fine. Yeah, it looks like Jeskai Energy. Okay, no companion, though, which is super interesting. Usually you would expect Luris or Gigantha, so they're probably just running, like... Well, maybe they're on, like, that Ranger Captain version that I've seen some people running. So we can go ahead and grab Meat Hook here. Actually, Meat Hook would be so dope. If I grabbed Meat Hook here... Yeah, I would be able to Meat Hook on 2 right here because of the cost reduction for Medallion. I'm just going to do it right now to slow them down a bunch. Ooh. Oh, no. We're going to search, so this card goes away, sadly. I'm just going to grab Meat Hook. Is that correct? Am I worrying too much about slowing them down? What I could grab instead is Marionette. I grab Marionette, and then I DI again to grab Chthonian Nightmare. I could also just grab the Necro and throw that into my hand. Let's go ahead and grab Meat Hook like I originally planned. And then we're going to Meat Hook on 2. That should slow them down a bunch. Now we do need to draw a creature, but our deck is pretty stacked with them, so I think we're fine. We're also at 22. They have an empty board, so I think we're going to be okay. And we have this Meat Hook passive in play, so yeah, now we're going to gain a life when Fleege dies, which is funny. Okay, yeah, they might hit my Medallion here. Yep, that makes sense, but I have another, thankfully. Nice dead card. Oh no, we're not supposed to draw a third one. That's no good. Alright, so we just need to draw any creature, and then we probably have some lines that result in a win. Ideally, I would want to draw Marionette or another creature that makes a token, because I can sacrifice the token, grab Chthonian Nightmare, and then just get looping. It wouldn't be a win on the spot, but it would certainly get us there. Get us somewhere. Oh, hey, Johnny, that's not good. Maybe I should have waited on that Meat Hook. I was afraid something like this would happen. Or they just go wide again. It will be mocking, copying Johnny. Makes a lot of sense. I am going to gain some life.
Hunt down the deceivers. More join our cause.
Alright, let's see what's going on here. Dark Ritual. That doesn't get us anywhere, unfortunately. Alright, so we get one more turn to draw something here. Are we dead to this Fleege coming at us? Actually, we totally are. Alright, so we have game 2. We can haste it up. Alright, game 2, we're going to want this. We're going to not want the discard spells. We're going to want Haywire Might to answer their Graveyard Heat. And then we can go ahead and just take out one Deadly Dispute here. And then this should be good. Could have maybe grabbed a Surgical for that Flage. Now, Surgical for Flage actually is lost in the sauce now that I say it out loud. Flage is going to be way too slow to kill us. We should just focus on comboing. I know that game it did, but we died not just because of Flage, we died because of them having a better board state than us. And me making a mistake with Meat Hook. I should have waited a turn to wipe their board. Alright, one lander, we cannot keep this one without a Dark Ritual. If we had a Dark Ritual, I'd totally keep that. Okay, this one we will keep with our very cool Dark Ritual. Just the question of what do we keep out of here. We have pretty much the combo here, so I think we're just going to keep all this stuff and put Dark Ritual back, as crazy as that sounds. So we go turn 1 Shambling Gas, turn 2 Medallion, and then turn 3 we kind of go off. DI for Marionette, and then we could do some loops. We won't kill them on the spot. We would need to get another treasure creature, but we could certainly start getting there. But that's one of the cool parts about this deck, is that you don't have to kill them on the spot. You can take your time with it. You can just do like a couple of loops, and then the next turn do a couple more loops, and as long as they don't gain too much life, you're fine. Okay, let's go ahead and play a land. Ooh, good. Now we have insurance against any sideboard cards. That's really good. Alright, ooh, the Roiling Vortex. I don't cast anything for free, do I? I think I do. It's good combat. DI here. Make a treasure. Gonna grab Marionette. And then we can loop just once or twice here. And then next turn we'll do some more loops. I could have Dark Ritualed and maybe done a few more loops right away. Oh, actually, I only have one creature in the bin. Interesting. Yeah, so you know what? Let's go ahead and protect our Marionette by hiding it. It'll be safe from exile removal if it's in our graveyard. Now, of course, they can also play Graveyard Hate this turn, which would be tragic. But it's now safe to sword from Swords to Plowshares, Static Prison, and all those fun cards. And then next turn we'll Haywire Might if needed. See what my opponent's up to. Goblin Bombardment, yeah. And anything else? Oh, nothing else. Okay. Oh, hey, it's Necro. Yeah, I'm just gonna Necro for a Gazillion here. Actually, I don't even know if I need to go for a Gazillion. I might just like Necro for 7 and call that enough. Because we're gonna win by paper cuts this game. Yeah, we'll just Necro for 7. Okay, then we get to discard 1 card here. We'll get rid of an extra Marsh. Oh, drawing all lands, okay. Oh, Tutors, never mind. Made up for it. Alright, we should be able to kill next turn. Even without the ability to infinite loop, we could just like sacrifice enough things with an Apprentice in play. We'll have 2 Apprentices in play, including this one. So that should be plenty. When it goes to 7. Johnny, okay. Well, they can flip their Johnny, so nasty things could happen, but I don't think we die here. We're still at 11. That's plenty high. All I need to do is deal 7 damage to them. Ooh, there's a Hearse. Okay, so that's going to hit our Apprentice that's in the bin, but that's fine. Ooh, they're going to hit my Might as well. That's a little unfortunate, then.
I will not rest until I find my brother's killer.
Alright, and they can hit my Ghast. Oh, they don't hit my Ghast, okay. Okay. If I take a damage, Blooming Marsh, I play Marionette. I'm not going to tutor yet. I'm going to make them activate their Hearse before I go tutoring for anything. And then we go ahead. Actually, no, I shouldn't DI. We'll DI next. Chthonian Nightmare to get back Marionette. They're going to activate their Hearse, one would assume. And then we could DI here for the win. Alright, give me my apprentice back, please. I assume they activate, they hit my 2 creatures that are in the graveyard. Yeah, okay, now we win. Because what we could do is we can... They go to 6. I DI here, I get a treasure. Get a treasure. Actually, is that enough? If I get Dark Ritual, actually it is, right? Yeah, I get Dark Ritual here. Ritual. Ritual, extra mana. Then we DT. And then Nightmare. Okay, we got it. DT for the other combo piece. Which is you. Play you. Play Nightmare. And now we can do the loop. Alright, nice. Okay. My man has crude. I repeat, he is crude? Oh, okay. Yeah, he's gonna try to fuck with my combo. Okay. Deals the damage, and then deals the damage again. And then we would be out of mana. Interesting. Alright, this is cool, actually. I like this. So now what do we do? We can get Marionette back. Of course. But then, nothing else happens. We get a treasure. Actually, we get Marionette back. Get Marionette back, we get a treasure. My opponent goes to 1. Oh, they die in their own upkeep. Yeah, we're fine. Actually, no, they don't. We have enough to kill them anyway. Very close. My opponent almost had the ability to interact here. But yeah, they go to 1, and then I go to 0. I'm, like, literally out of activations here, but this was enough to get them to 0, exactly. If they had 1 more health anyway, they would have died in their upkeep to this. I don't know why they sideboarded in Vortex. Alright, yeah, I like this sideboarding. Let's run it back. Alright, game 3. We got the Jet Medallion. We have a lot of stuff going on here. I might just, like, turn 1, throw out Jet Medallion plus Marionette. And we'll take it from there. We'll have a 1-mana tutor for the turn after, so that seems like a great idea. We'll also have access to 3 mana off of Tower. Edge Souls, you got it. Dark Ritual. Jet Medallion. Marionette. Right, and then next turn we can have 3 mana if we want, or we could probably just play a Bowmasters. Or just play a Tutor. We'll have to see what they do. So grab Meat Hook whenever we want it. Or March something. We have so many choices, which is awesome. Static Prison probably hits Marionette. Understandable. Right. Yeah, let's just play Takenuma. I'll Bowmaster this, and then we'll DT maybe for Necro, maybe not for Necro. Yeah, DT for Necro seems like a great idea when we're literally holding a March. Do the solid sorcery speeds we don't get screwed with. Because they are Jeskai energy, they could maybe have a Spell Pierce. Right, neat. Well, I did just mention Spell Pierce. Hopefully our Necro does resolve. If it doesn't, then I think we're kind of screwed. We might not be able to keep up with them. But if it does resolve, we're just going to draw down to 1 and then, like, march their Guide of Souls, and then we'll be fine. Alright, my opponent, I guess, timed out. I don't know. Something's going on here. Let's go ahead and Necro for a Guzgillion. A Guzgillion. Whee! Necro to 1! We should be able to win when we untap if we Necro to 1. So I'm gonna do it. Actually, just in case they have a Bowmasters, let's Necro to 2. Go to our end step. Draw a bajillion cards. And we'll decide what we want to keep. So we want to keep this, probably that. We'll keep everything that we don't want to keep left of that medallion. Or everything we want to keep is left of the medallion. Everything we don't want is to the right. We can keep one land as well. Ritual, sure. Oh, another march. Sweet. Yeah, we're going to want to keep that. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 keeps, and a DI. That's 7. Ooh, Meathook would be sweet too, but honestly, I'd rather just have 2 marches. So that's 1, 2, 3. That's actually not that many cards that we can pitch to the march. So we're only going to be able to march for 7 here. Let's pitch the Bowmasters too and actually march for 9 just to be super safe against like a Najani. Because we pretty much have the win in the bag. We just need to make sure we don't die. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, looks like Salty Scoop number 1 of the day. So from this situation, if you want a tutorial on how to do the combo, all you need are the combo pieces. We can't actually get 2 of the combo creatures right now, but they're only at 13, so I think we should be able to just kill them by like looping Bowmasters plus 1 of them. Especially with double Marionette in play, so let's do this. We're just going to kill them by paper cuts. This is what I love about the deck, is that it's got plenty of non-infinite combo wins. Okay, let's go ahead and grab you. Grab you. Put you into play. And we're going to get Bowmasters back. We're just going to loop this plus Bowmasters. And then if my opponent was still here and screwed with the combo, we could march our own creature and draw more cards. We don't need to do that. Double Marionette makes this very fast and very doable with limited mana. Plus, we're only losing 1 mana per loop, and each loop is getting me 5 damage onto my opponent between the Bowmaster ping and these 2 creatures dying. How many of the treasures we haven't even used yet? Cool. Alright, game 2. We're 1 for 1 today on getting the Salty Scoop out. Let's see if we can make it 2 for 2. So this hand is pretty decent. What I would have loved to see with this hand is a tutor card draw. Yeah, a tutor or a card draw is really what this hand needs to be great. We could still keep it, and then we can go like turn 1 Jet Medallion, you know, Dark Ritual into Jet Medallion, but that doesn't go anywhere. I think we're going to mulligan this. I think we could do a lot better. This hand is missing the mana. I think we'll keep it, though. Go back 1 of these disputes. Because if we hit a land, or if one of these creatures just dies blocking, then we're totally good on mana, and then we can get a Necro out. Okay. Go to combat and get hitting. Against a Luris deck, too, I'm presuming my opponent's going to put a threat out, and I'm going to get to block it pretty soon. I don't know, maybe this is a bad keep, and I should have went to 5. I don't love the idea of going to 5, because at that point you're just hard mulling for Necropotence. Alright, looks like it's going to be Control or just Jeskai Energy, maybe. Maybe everybody's trying Jeskai Energy after a couple of people tried Mockingbird and it seemed pretty good. I don't know if it's necessarily better. People keep asking it. I think Mordu is probably still, like, just straight up better if you want the better deck. You're just holding up mana in your Luris deck? Why? Don't do that. It scares me. I'm going to DI instead of Necroing, because if this gets countered, I don't care. This is probably eating a mana drain, right? Right? No? No way. Yeah, I'm getting my discard spell if it's not. Okay, yeah. That's what we could assume. And we'll just play fair against this deck for a little bit. Unless they tap out for a ring or something here, then we'll jam Necro. It's a... Ooh, very cool. Very cool new card. Yeah, I think we are just gonna play fair here. What do we want to do? I think I want to jam... Want to jam a Marionette? No, we'll just put Flash in Bowmasters. Kitsa's very interesting. You go ahead and give this one a read. I don't know if it's going to be timeless playable, but it's certainly interesting. So we got good old blue-red prowess featuring Laris. All right, let's see it. I'm going to go ahead and block here. Make a little extra mana for later. And then flash out this Bowmasters. And if there are brainstorms, let them happen now, please. And if you want to counterspell this, I'd also be pretty happy. Be totally cool if you tapped out of your counterspell and let me resolve a Necro. Nice. I might even just Deadly Dispute the token right now, too. Just to draw a bit deeper into the deck. We would lose a treasure here, but we'd also gain a treasure back, so... I think we're fine to do this. Maybe this eats the counterspell so I could slam Necro. It does, cool. Right. They could definitely have another counter, but we've already put them on 2 mana drains, right? So let's just go ahead and slam this Necro. Actually, do we want to play... We could play Marionette first. Yeah, let's put Marionette first. And then we'll slam Necro off of the Marionette token. Just to get a little bit more chip damage in. Hopefully this is resolving. Oh, they're looting. They get a Necro into play. Ping you. Nice. Alright, let's draw like 8 cards. We don't have 2 combo next turn, and considering they are definitely a control deck who can keep controlling us, let's try to play a bit fair. Don't overdraw too much. We're just going to keep slamming cards like Bowmasters, and that should get us to a win. If you're gonna... Okay, never mind. They hovered Necro like they were gonna remove it. If they were going to remove it, I would have drawn a bit more. Okay, against Control Andy. Well, they're not necessarily Control Andy. I think they're just Prowess that's playing Mana Drain because the card is absolutely busted. So, wow, is the game client loud or is it just me? It's loud. It's screaming at me. Alright, we're gonna want Defense Grids. I want Duresses as well, but that might be a little lost in the sauce. We're definitely going to want at least these. Hold on, let me take my headphones off. That's loud. I'll mute that in the video. I don't know why that sound is stuck. Part of me wants to take Disputes out to make room, but part of me also thinks that the fair plan is probably how we're going to be winning this game. I don't know if they are really aggressive Prowess or if they're control with Kitsa. Can maybe cut a Ghast to make room for... I want more grids, I want packs, I want more discard. I don't know exactly what's going to be good against them is the problem. So... Oh, this is already 60. Maybe we run it back like this and get a little bit more info. Just having access to the 1 defense grid, 1 haywire might... take a march out to have 2 defense grids, maybe. Or maybe have access to a pact, maybe have access to another piece of discard. Yeah, let's try one more piece of discard. And then we'll see exactly what they're on. Right, fair hand. I will keep a fair hand against this deck. Just go 1 into 2, and this is going to be taxing on their life total. Right, they do be brainstorming before the Bowmasters hits the battlefield. It's good. That means they probably won't have counter magic for marionettes. So we just slam 2 marionettes in a row, and that might be just really difficult for them to deal with. It might be enough chip damage to just kill them eventually. And even if they counter one, we can always nightmare it back. Alright, Tammy could definitely slow us down a bit.
I must investigate this scroll further.
I think I should actually take a look and make sure they don't flip that Tamio. Should see what's up here. Oh, Flare. What the heck? Oh, that thing. Thunder Trap. Okay. I think I could take the Flare because they're going to have Thunder Trap plus Flare online next turn, and that's pretty scary. And then we'll just jam some Tamios and some Chthonians in a row. We don't need to overthink it at all. Going to be training. Oh, you know what this deck is? It's probably wizards. That's the theme for the deck. Because this guy's a wizard. This girl's a wizard. Everyone's a wizard. Marionette on the stack. And hopefully we can resolve a Necro at some point with a mana drain in my opponent's hand. Not too likely, but we'll try. Okay, yeah, Flare right on top makes sense. Having access to multiple counters is definitely going to be good. I might just play a Nightmare and see if I can beat out the counter spell. Yeah, I'm just going to play this. Would you like to counter this to your opponent? It does a lot. Alright, yeah, I'm cool with that. First they draw Flare and we're going to have more counters to fight through, but we'll eventually get there, I hope. This is on eventually. No guarantees. No refunds either. Cool. Conjure an Ionize or an Electrolyze into your hand. Cool. Another cool wizard. Lizard wizard, one could say. They are holding up counter spells, so let's again be a little careful. I think we just throw another Nightmare at him. This ate a counter spell last time, surely it will again. There's nothing in my graveyard, so there's actually no reason for them to counter this. Other than the eventuality of me eventually putting something into my graveyard. Dude, Polarizer, Sack to Flare is actually pretty sweet tech. So they have probably a counter spell, probably Ionize. I do want this Shambling Ass to die. I want them to attack me for damage at some point. My opponent does have to win the game. I don't know how they're going to do that, because I'm at 20 HP, and it doesn't seem like they're in a rush to really knock down my life total. Let's go ahead and play. Do I really want to throw away another Chthonian Nightmare? Probably not. Let's play... This gets played, it gets countered, and it's also super important. So let's play Marionette. We'll play these two, and then next turn, hopefully we could jam a Necro or a Medallion and do some good things. Nice, yep, that's what they conjured up to their hand. Let's go ahead and jam Chthonian Nightmare. And this will get countered as well. Alright, we've been flared. Alright, the chip damage is coming through. Next turn, hopefully we could just jam this Necro and draw a gazillion cards, and then be okay. My opponent also might flip Tamio this turn, if they have nothing else to do with their mana. Thunder Trap, yep. Ah! No Necro for me. Alright, if you draw a land, I'd be happy to throw this out as bait. Oh, we get two? Alright, never mind then. Counter this. Counter it. It's important. Oh, they don't. Okay, I'll play both then. It's tough that they didn't counter it. Alright, yeah. We're being controlled. Yeah, Flame of Venor, nice. Alright, you get pinged for one though, buddy. I'm coming for you with these pings. Okay, goodbye Marionette. I think we're pretty out of this game at this point. We should probably just go to game 3 for sanity at some point soon. Let's see if they counter this Dark Ritual. It's bait. Okay, never mind. They're just gonna counter my Necro and I'm just gonna be drawing dead. They have the ability to flip Tameo. They have so much card advantage over us. So they are like super controlling. Alright, what do we want to do then? We definitely do want all the discard. We definitely want all the defense grids and all the packs. We just got to make a little bit of room for it. We could just take marches completely out. Take marches out, take deadly disputes out. And then we would need one more cut just to make room. Or we could just play like one less discard spell. One less defense grid. We'll put one less Bowmasters, I guess, even though Bowmasters is still really good. We saw nothing for Haywire Might, so maybe we could have cut that, but I like having access to one copy that we could tutor. Right. What we got here? We got Duress, we got a Medallion on turn 1. I think we had a mulligan to something that actually goes somewhere. This hand does go somewhere. Not immediately. Well, actually, yeah, we could. We could Necro on turn 2, but I'm more interested in slamming a defense grid on turn 2 and then Necro on turn 3. Yeah, I like this a lot. We'll probably put the second Necro away, even though it's good to have a redundant copy in case of a counterspell. We can always tutor for the redundant copy. Keep this 6, Necro goes back. Gambling Ass, then next turn, defense grid is going to come through. And if they don't have a Spell Pierce, then I think we're pretty safe this game. Alright, nice. Defense grid, go! Okay, and then we're gonna Necro for a bajillion approximately. Hey, no bouncing my defense grid, that's rude. Still, they don't have the mana to bounce and counterspell, unless it's like 1 mana Vapor Snag style card, 1 mana Spell Pierce. Okay, free Flare, but again, free is 3 mana still. They cannot cast that during my turn. Defense grid, good. Great treasure. Honestly, I have a good enough hand that I think I'm only going to draw about 8 cards. I could very much draw more. I don't think I will. I'm going to keep the Sap of Man Step just in case I do draw into my 1 March. Actually, did I take that out? Let me take Untapped. Yeah, I took it out. Okay. I do not have the ability to gain life. That's good to remember. So we don't want to go too low. Okay, I think we can win next turn. Or get very close if we... Oh, wow. Couldn't just drew everything we needed. Yeah, we just drew everything. So what do we want to win with? Jet Medallion, Marionette Apprentice, DI, Nightmare, Bowmaster, a Freebooter, and then a Ritual over the DT even? So we're discarding a DT? Wow, I never thought I'd see the day. We probably want DT over Bowmasters. Who are we kidding? Yeah, so we Ritual out the Medallion, and I think we just win at that point. Yep, okay, type out for Kitsa, that's totally cool. Dark Ritual. Jet Medallion. Marionette. Servo. Get a little bit of mana off of that servo. Freebooter. Nightmare. We did it. Nice. And if the scoop doesn't come through, we will speed it up. Nice. 2 for 2. All right, game 3. We're against Oxygenetic. What are we up to here? I like what I see. Shambling Ghast into Medallion turn 2, and then DI turn 3 go off. Sounds good to me. We'll have to see exactly what they're up to before we decide on our exact lines. Hopefully this doesn't fetch out some blue mana and hold up mana drain mana for the rest of the game. We just played against a counterspell deck. I'm tired. It might be show and tell. Okay, it's a little bit more linear. Yeah, show and tell gaming. Alright, we got a lot of sideboard cards for show and tell gaming, so we should be good in game 2 if we are not good in game 1. But even game 1, we have a reasonable chance to beat them. They are a little bit faster on average. They can win on turn 3 just by casting their card. And I think this deck most consistently wins on turn 4, how it's currently built. But, hey, they could not have the turn 3, especially with us on the play. Actually, no, sorry, they are on the play this game. So it's a little tougher for us. We would need to fade them having the combo before like turn 5 to have a shot. Because I don't think I could win next turn, even with the ability to DI for 1 mana. I think what we're going to do is we're going to DI for Necro. Yeah, I just don't have enough pieces in hand. Actually, I could DI for Marionette, play Marionette. Am I going to be mana short? DI for Marionette, I will have 3 mana. Play Marionette, I'll have 2. DI off of the Marionette token for Chthonian. Am I 1 mana short, guys? DI this for Marionette, 3 mana. Play Marionette, 2 mana. And then play this, 1 mana, but then I DI that for Chthonian. I think we're good to do that, right? Better not be wrong. Otherwise I'm going to feel very stupid. It's going to be the Marionette here. Play Marionette. Okay, we'll get this. DIU to get Chthonian. Wait, am I a mana short? I think I am, right? Yeah, because now I fucked up. I am a mana short. I did the math wrong more than once. Okay, but we could win next turn. We have the win on the battlefield. All right. Yeah, because we can get our Ghast back, but then we can't actually loop it. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna hide Marionette in my graveyard. Keep it safe. Yeah, I was right originally. I'm a mana short there. Almost had it. That's fine. If they don't have show and tell here, we do win. Oh, here's an extra mana for me, huh? Okay. I wonder if I had a line. Oh, could I have DI'd for Dark Ritual and won? Maybe. I'll have to watch the video back and see if I had a DI for Dark Ritual hand to win. Because I had 2 DIs in hand, right? First DI gets Dark Ritual, that's mana positive, but then I still need to get 2 combo pieces out of my deck, right? I needed the Marionette and the Chthonian Nightmare. So I would have somehow had to get an extra card there. Yeah, they have Approach, and then as long as they have a way to get Approach out of their deck, they win. Yep, you got it. Alright, so game 2 versus Show and Tell, we do have some technology against them. We have all these baubles we just bring it in, and then we also just bring in the Duresses as well. And then we just goldfish a little bit. So we take out this life gain stuff. We have to take out a bunch of like the fair stuff that's in our deck. And then we can run the surgical. We can maybe even run 1 Haywire Might just in case they bring in a random sideboard card. And then we run it back like this. And then we try to race to combo them with a bauble on the battlefield. And hopefully we can go a bit faster because they'll have to fight through our sideboard cards. All right. Game 2 against the Tell. What we got here? We got the Nightmares, we got the DIs, but we have no fuel. Run it back. All right, we got the Jet Medallion. This is probably keepable. Yeah, this is definitely keepable. Throw this back. I don't have a sideboard card, so I might DI for 1. That does not help you. Well, it helps you if I draw discard spells, which I totally brought in. But it does not save you from my combo, notably, dear opponent. So we'll have to decide, do we want to like DI for a bauble next turn to keep ourselves safe? Probably, right? And then the next turn we can Necropotence and just try to win a turn later. Or we could just jam Necro next turn and we try to get the turn 4 win. Oh, you know what we could do is we could just put the bauble into our hand. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna play Jet Medallion. And then we're gonna DI for a bauble. And the bauble will just go into our hand. We don't have to waste a mana casting it, because if they do Omnitel, then we just put bauble into play. And then we'll draw a bajillion cards next turn off of Necro. Where's my bauble? Yeah, we don't have to waste one mana here. I'll probably play it anyway next turn, though, because I'll have 4 mana available to me. Yep, Dark Ritual, you're going to do it. Alright, I cast bauble. I win. I don't win yet. They could also just remove my bauble whenever they untap. Just spend 3 mana on that. They could have a Bosiju off of the screen, for example. Yep, and they could just pay for a symbol. So definitely could be dead when this bauble gets removed in a turn or two. Is there a win? A card I could draw to win next turn? I don't think so, right? Chthonian. I mean, that's a card, but it's not a card that'll win for me on the spot, sadly. So I think we're going to play Necro, play Chthonian, and then we're just going to draw like 15 cards. Right? Yeah, I don't think we got anything else to do other than try to draw 15 here. We can draw all the way to 1, actually. Maybe draw to 2, just in case they have like a random Bowmasters or something. Yeah. Let's just make sure we can win next turn. Great. Take out full control. We don't even need full control on our end step. We're just going to keep the best 7 out of these 18. We'll definitely have a 7 that lets us win when we draw 18 and we already have multiple of our combo pieces in play. We just need like the dorky creatures to show up, which is not too much of an ask. Some combination of dorky creatures and tutors, please. Okay, we get to keep 7 to pick. I want a dorky creature, and an extra one in case one gets exiled. I want a sack outlet. I want maybe an extra nightmare, an extra bauble, and then a DT. Seems pretty good. Alright, let's see. If they have like a Frozen Grip to answer my bauble for mana, or they just pay 4 here for Force of Vigor, then yeah, they can win. See it though. Force, yeah, blow up my Nightmare too. Well, good thing I kept the second one. Right, you take a ping damage, but they still have to have the win in hand. They dig? Yeah, they could have it. There's an approach. You have a way to dig for it? Yeah, okay. Good game. We had him next turn. We could have, I mean, we literally have the cards in hand to go infinite. We got the Dorks, the Tower, the Nightmare. Even if they had a hate piece, we could have DT'd for whatever they hated out, or DT'd for a Haywire Might. So we would have had it one turn later. I'm curious, I'm trying to think if there was a way for us to do it faster. I'm wondering. Show and Tell is definitely a match that we need to tech against. So obviously we're working on it. 4 baubles in the sideboard is the current answer to what they're doing. Maybe I could have brought in a surgical too. What if I surgicaled them? Probably not. That's probably lost in the sauce. We'll keep thinking about show and tell though. Alright, game 4 of the video on the play against Ares Fire. What we got here? We got a Dark Ritual hand. Is this a good enough Dark Ritual hand to take us somewhere? Maybe. I think we could just turn 1 Shambling Guest and then turn 2 Dark Ritual DI for something. something varying based on what my opponent does and what we draw. This isn't the greatest hand ever, just because like I can't quite get a Necro into play. I'm trying to think about how I can get Necro into play next turn. I think I'd have to draw like a land or a mana source in order for that to happen. So let's just go ahead and play it by ear. We'll play out our gas. Our opponent's mulliganing pretty heavily. We might actually want to play out Inquisition instead. Yeah, let's do this. Oh, Angels. Huh. Okay. Alright, we'll take your one drop. Alright, ooh, there we go. Yeah, I feel bad. I got Necro, and they got Angels. I'll overdraw a little bit. I do really want to hit a land. But we're going to need to draw multiple times to actually get there, because we're starting Necroing really early with pretty low resources. We're going to want like 2 or 3 turns to put the combo together. Okay, there's a land. Meathook's just going to be too slow. We don't really need that card. We have already 2 dorks, so we can get rid of the Shambling Ghast. So next turn we just probably just play our 2 dorks, and then maybe the turn after that we try to combo. Bishop of Wings, you've got it, opponent. I will play a Swamp. I will play 2 dorky creatures. I could maybe play only 1 dorky creature and try to get a March. Funnily, this exiles. We'll figure it out. We do have to be a little careful with our life total when we're against Angels. Because they can't just whack us in the air for a bit of life. Alright. Draw some cards. March, Jet. Oh, we're drawing all the good ones. Okay. Get rid of an extra Blooming Marsh. Get rid of an extra Nightmare. And then I do want to keep this extra Dork in case we get marched. Or in case we get exiled here. So we're probably getting rid of this Bowmasters. Would have loved a Dark Ritual. That would have won the game. I wonder if we still have a line to win with Dark Ritual. We have a line to maybe go places. There's a Righteous Valkyrie. Alright, so we have Jet Medallion. We're gonna play. We need 2 more cards. No, we need 1 more card out of our deck. We just need what's her face. Sorry for me forgetting what's her face's name. Marionette Apprentice. So we get Marionette Apprentice, we play Marionette Apprentice, but then we don't have enough mana to actually do it this turn. So can we get Dark Ritual and then go off? Get Dark Ritual. We have no way to tutor again. So what I think we could just do is we can sack one of these dorks. Plan on comboing next turn. I'm going to draw to 0 and then just murder Righteous Valkyrie here. Okay, so get me a Marionette. And then let's draw to 1 HP. And then on our end step, we're going to go ahead and use the treasure and we're going to kill Righteous Valkyrie. Get off of full control here. Let's go to our end step. Yeah, we can get rid of these redundant copies of Necro and other random things that we're drawing. Okay. Oh, we do need to get rid of some stuff. So we get rid of the Dark Ritual, the Bowmasters, the extra Necro here. So that would be X equals 7. Hit this. They do get a little 1/1 there, but it's not going to be enough to kill me. Okay, resolves. And then we get to go ahead and discard some cards. And then I think we win through anything. Like, even if this gets exiled, we'll hold up Phyrexian Tower so that they can't, like, exile one of our creatures. Because that is a way that they could maybe stall. They could try to exile our Marionette Apprentice here. Get hit for 1. Right. Play this. Alright, then up next we'll go ahead and play this. And then play the Nightmare. And then I don't know if our opponent knows the combo, so I will probably end up fast forwarding. If they try to hit Apprentice here with their removal spell, we're just going to put it into the tower and make some extra mana. Okay, they decided that at 8 HP is when they scoop after they timed out? I don't know. Anyway, against Angels Gaming, we're probably going to want Meathook Massacre. I don't really know if they're going to have sideboard cards for this, but it's pretty low cost to bring in one Might, and then we take out the Inquisitions against Angel Gaming, and we go ahead and run it back like this. Oh, what are we looking at here? We're looking at a way to get a bunch of mana and DT on our second turn. I like this. The hell is this? Okay. That card. I haven't seen that card in years. A relic of the past. Alright, Angel of Unity coming through. Question is, do we want to just DI right now to grab Necro out of our deck? Or DT even? I think the answer might be yeah. Just grab our Necro and plan on drawing a gazillion cards. I mean, Angels can put the beats on if we take more than a few turns, so let's be careful. We do need that. It's part of the combo. Let's go ahead and play this. And then let's draw like 10 cards. Actually, we could try to win next turn. So what's the most damage they could do? They could play another Righteous Valkyrie. Creatures they control would get +4/+4, which would mean they could do, oh wow, actually a lot of damage. Oh, well, they would need another Righteous Valkyrie and another way to gain life. Yeah, okay, so the most damage they're realistically going to do is 8 or 7 damage, which means we have to go to 8. Life equal to its toughness. I don't think they could play 6 toughness versus creatures, but just in case they have a random life gain spell, I'll play around that. I'll go to 8 here. Oh, I went to 7 by mistake. It's fine. Maybe we hit a march here. Have it be noted that that was a misclick and I meant to go to 8 if we do lose to exactly 7 damage in the air. Have it be known. There's a Meathook. A march would make my life very easy. Then I wouldn't have to think about much, but we only play 2 copies of that. Okay. Let's choose some cards to keep. We're going to want a Chthonian. We're going to want a Jet. Chthonian Jet. We don't have Marionette, but we can go with Meathook instead. So Meathook, a creature, a DI. Oops. A DI. That's only 5, so we actually do have a lot more room. Take another dorky creature and probably take a land. And then we should be able to win with this. Oh wait, yeah, they actually do have a dorky life gain spell. Holy shit. I might lose. It's because I misclicked. I meant to go to 8, not 7. But we'll see what they do. Oh yeah, you know, if they have double Valkyrie and then activate Scroll of Avacyn, I also die. Yeah, look at that. They do die here. Because they do have double Valkyrie. And this had the permanent power buff. Okay, you got me, opponent. You got me. Alright, let's roll it back. I think we just keep the deck the same, though. I don't know if they really have sideboard cards for me. Honestly, we might want Inquisition in the Haywire Might slot, though. Nah, I don't want to cut one of our pieces. I think we just got to try to Goldfish him here. That's really funny, though. Alright, we're gonna be on the play. Not a great hand. Let's mulligan. Okay, there we go. We can play a stupid creature, we can DI for a Necro, and then we can go crazy. Do we want Phyrexian Tower? I don't think we need it in our opener. I want the guaranteed colored mana here, so that we can jam Necro on 3 and try to win on 4. Okay, that's a tower that showed up anyway, that's really good. Alright, scry 1 for me. Ooh, another DI. I like what I see. Oh, never mind. It always shuffles away. I always get so excited and then just shuffle my library. Alright, let's go ahead and Necro. We could play Marionette and then put its token. Send the token to Jesus. I think we're fine just playing Necro. Actually, yeah, let's go ahead and do that. It'll save us mana next turn. It opens up opportunities for us to legit win next turn, I think. This could also just die to a removal spell, which would suck, but we can always just draw more. Or draw our own meat hook, whatever. Let's draw like 10 cards. We could draw to 1 and try to win. I don't think we could guaranteed win drawing 19 cards if we don't have an amulet in play. Or medallion is what I meant to say. Oh, I mean, we have all the combo pieces. Yeah, let's draw all the way down. I think we win next turn. I'll draw to 2 to play around like removal spell and me dying to this attack. Pretty sure we could win next turn. If I punt against Angels Gaming, then that's on me. Alright, go to the end step. We're gonna have 20 cards in our hand. We get to keep the best ones. Rituals, please. Mana? Where's my fast mana? Oh, we do have a March, which is good, and a meat hook. And a DI. No fast mana? No, wait, no amulets? By amulet, I mean medallion, of course. No medallions, no fast mana. Okay, that's fine. We can keep meat hook, we can keep March. And then we take our time. Keep a dorky creature, bowmaster, DI. Yeah, and then we'll DI for what we need. Okay. That is fine by me. We actually don't have the win. If we had a Dark Ritual in hand, we might have had the win. So next turn we'll decide whether or not we just want to march something to gain some life. Depends on what they play. I think we could win the turn after because we have a DI and a DT. Be very hard to imagine us not being able to win the turn after. Let's see what they got here, though. Alright, my opponent is graciously passing back to me, it appears. They must have assumed that they didn't have a chance? I don't know, dude. Book of Exalted Deeds. Oh, okay. Interesting. Enlightened. So can they win next turn? Just doing something random? I don't think they can. We can keep Emergency March up, but I'm going to DT for my win. I need to keep Emergency March up. I could play the Ghast. Play Ghast, put Ghast into the tower, DT, or even just DI instead. Yeah, I'll go ahead and DI instead. DI for my card. Treasure. DI for my win. And then next turn we should be able to do it. We have Emergency March up just in case something funny happens. I can just go ahead and like March pitch all of these cards and probably still be fine. Whoa, a counter? Wait, that is funny. Do we have to march here? Yeah, I'll go ahead and march here. That's really funny. Let's go ahead and march for 4. And then take the damage. It is really funny. Do I need the DT or do I have a win in hand? Actually, I don't really need the DT. Oh, that's DT anyway. DT is actually extra mana. That's really funny. I did need the emergency march. I should have done it in response to the counter being put on this to kill it perma, but who cares? Right. So let's go ahead and... Do I have enough mana here? Might not, right? I DT... I play Medallion. Play Medallion. Well, I'm thinking with my brain, guys. Play Medallion. Mana, shit's cheaper. We DT for a ritual, but that's not enough mana. I put this into the tower. Then we can't get Chthonian Nightmare going. Unless I DT for something else. Actually, yeah, we could put this into the tower. Okay, yeah. I think I know how to do it. DT for... Oh no, that's not enough still. Right? Guys? Even if I DT for another Marionette, there's no way to play a creature for free here. Yeah, I'm sorry if I'm like kind of giga punting against Angel Gaming, but I don't think I have a win rate here. I think I'm just going to get another Apprentice and play it as a blocker. And we'll figure it out next turn. Okay, next turn we have the Nightmare, and we have the mana to make it go. But if they could put a counter on an Angel, we kind of lose. Oh, Lyra Dawnbringer, okay. You know what? Maybe we shouldn't underestimate Angel Gaming in the future, guys. We should be kind and respectful. They have made an extra Angel and gained a bunch of life. But unfortunately for our opponent, they are playing against a very degenerate combo deck. Alright, feel free to like giga analyze my lines in the comments. We almost lost here, and I definitely deserve it. Okay. Let's go ahead and get looping. Alright, that'll do it. And that's it for the video. I don't think I could play again after the Angel Gaming game. I need a little break. Alright, this deck's fun. It's not perfect, as you guys can see. We lost the show and tell. We stumbled against Angel Gaming, so I'm definitely open to suggestions. Also open to like complete and total like radical retools of this deck. This is what we have, and by the way, one of the retools is right here. Some people are trying to build it a bit more like the old Underworld Breach decks. We've Tendrils as an alt win con here. Mausoleum Secrets. The hover is not working for whatever reason. Why? Why, Watsy? I'm trying to hover my cards. Look, hover doesn't work. Yeah, whatever. Y'all know what these cards do. Yeah, these are cool ideas. Let me know if you also have cool ideas. Like, I'm definitely open to there being other ways to take this deck. I tried out this version in BO1. It's really interesting. Like, being able to mill your pieces and then get them back with Breach makes it really consistent in a way, but it also makes the deck die to Graveyard Hate in a way. And we've also, like, diluted our combo down to a 2-of, so it's less likely that we randomly draw it, and we're also not playing Necro. Yeah, ideas. We are playing Luris. Ooh. There's a million ways to take this deck. So definitely let me know if you have an idea, whether it's just a minor tweak to this deck's sideboard so that we don't lose to Angel Gaming, or if it's like a complete retool and overhaul with something like Underworld Breach.